Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are deconstructing one of the most challenging and, frankly, awe-inspiring examinations on the entire planet, the gateway to India's elite civil services. So, you see this number up on the screen, 2025. Now, that is not a year. It's the total number of marks a candidate can score in the final tally. That's combining the written exam and their interview. It's the summit they have to climb. So what on earth does it actually take to compete for these kinds of positions? Well, to answer that, we really need to understand the structure of this intellectual marathon. It's officially known as the UPSC Civil Services Main Exam. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get a bird's eye view of the whole thing. Then we'll dissect the papers themselves, explore the vast syllabus, look at what it takes to succeed, and finally we'll talk about that crucial last step. First up, the ultimate exam. Let's just get the 30,000-foot view here, because believe me, this is so much more than just a single massive test. So the main exam is really broken down into 3 distinct phases. It all kicks off with 2 qualifying language papers. One's in English, the other's in an Indian language of the candidate's choice. Now here's the thing. They don't count towards your final score, but if you fail them, the rest of your papers won't even be looked at. All right, let's get to the core of it all, the papers that actually determine a candidate's final ranking and, their entire future career. Now, just take a look at this. This slide lays out the entire battlefield. We're talking 7 papers, each worth 250 marks. That's a total of 1,750 marks. You've got 1 essay paper, 4, that's right, 4 general studies papers, and 2 papers on an optional subject that the candidate gets to pick from a pretty long list. So what are these papers actually testing? I can tell you, this isn't about just memorizing a bunch of facts. The whole point of this exam is to probe a candidate's intellectual depth, their analytical skills, across a simply staggering range of subjects. Let's start with the first general studies paper. You can think of this one as a journey through time and space. It's designed to see if you can connect the dots between India's ancient culture, its modern society, and its physical place on the globe. And this just shows you the sheer breadth of it all. I mean, one moment you could be discussing ancient temple architecture, the next you're analyzing the impact of the world wars, and then you're explaining the mechanics of a tsunami or a cyclone. It's just wild. Okay, the second paper. This one shifts gears from the past to the present. It examines the very framework that holds the nation together, and of course, how it interacts with the rest of the world. This paper is testing your grasp on everything from constitutional law to the role of NGOs in development. Basically, they want to know if you understand the rulebook for the entire nation. And not just if you know it, but if you know how to apply it, from how parliament works all the way to global diplomacy. Paper number 3. This one dives right into the dynamic, critical sectors that are shaping modern India's growth, its stability, and its future. You could say this is where the rubber really meets the road on policy. So the crucial skill here is being able to connect what look like totally separate topics. You've got to understand how investment models affect infrastructure, how new technology impacts food security, and how organized crime links directly to internal security threats. And finally, we get to the most unique paper of them all. This one goes beyond pure knowledge. It's designed to test something far more intangible, a candidate's moral and ethical compass. And we're not just talking theory here. This paper uses incredibly complex case studies to see how a future administrator would apply these foundational values, things like integrity, empathy, and emotional intelligence, to the kind of real-world dilemmas they're absolutely going to face. So, with this absolute universe of knowledge to cover, you might be asking yourself, how on earth does anyone prepare for this? Well, that brings us to the blueprint for success. The key isn't just about studying hard, it's about studying smart. The people who actually do well consistently emphasize a few key things. They analyze past papers to understand the patterns. They weave current events into every single subject. And most importantly, they practice writing answers daily. It's all about application, not just collecting information. A balanced daily routine of about 8 to 10 hours is what you hear a lot from those who succeed. And notice something here. A huge chunk of that time isn't just for learning new stuff. It's for practicing the art of communicating what you know effectively and under a ton of pressure. So after that marathon of a written exam, we finally arrive at the last stage, more than just marks. This is the personality test. And it is not just a tiebreaker, folks. It's a crucial 275-mark assessment that brings our grand total right back to that 2025 we saw at the very beginning. The interview, it's not just one last exam. It's really an assessment of the person behind the scores. It's testing the very same qualities that the ethics paper explored in theory. Things like mental alertness, integrity, leadership potential, and the ability to make impartial, balanced judgments. Ultimately, the UPSC exam is this profound attempt to measure both knowledge and character. It's designed to find the minds that will go on to shape a nation. But the question it leaves us with is right here. If an exam can test the vastness of human knowledge, can it truly test the depth of human character? Can it really tell you not just what a person knows, but who they are? It's something to think about.